The secrets behind Black Ops 2 Zombies' esoteric Perma Perks system have finally been revealed after 14 years. We know exactly how they function, literally from the developers themselves. Thanks to the leaked Zombies developer documents, we can take a dive into exactly what the intentions behind the systems were, which Perma Perks actually exist, what they do, how you get them, and how you lose them, getting rid of all of the misconceptions surrounding them. Plus, we will take a look at this system and see if it could potentially return in Black Ops 7, given how it seems to be a spiritual sequel to Black Ops 2 with a transit-inspired map at launch with Ashes of the Damned. All of that and more will be unveiled in this video, so stay tuned. So what exactly are the Perma Perks? Black Ops 2 is more than a decade old now, so plenty of viewers of this video have likely never noticed them in-game or heard of them before. However, they were quite the contentious point of discussion during Black Ops 2's lifecycle, as the in-game communication surrounding the feature is intentionally vague and hard to understand, and the developers really never spoke on the matter. The name Perma Perks might fool you into thinking this is simply a set of perks in-game that you don't lose when you go down, similar to an end of an Easter egg reward in some of the maps. However, don't let the name fool you, they are something entirely unique. The document we will be looking at today is called Zombies Persistent Upgrades GDD, and explains it quite well. It says, persistent upgrades are a type of hidden challenge which generates a reward for the player. The player performs an action to activate, which generates a reward. The reward is permanent. It survives games, sessions, and even reboots of the console, unless the player performs a different action to deactivate. Essentially, through a secret set of actions in-game, you unlock the Perma Perk, and it is then a permanent reward between games until you do whatever the deactivate specific trigger for said upgrade is. Some step or action that will turn it off. Seems simple enough. Sort of like a side Easter egg, but without using anything map specific so that it works on any map, although some are map specific. So why was this so confusing to players during Black Ops 2? Simple. It was designed to be as such. We see that in the next text featured in the document. Players are not informed directly how to activate or deactivate a reward. The name of the award is never shown in-game via the user interface, the HUD, or otherwise. Players are notified that they have received a persistent upgrade in 3 ways. These notifications play in succession of each other. First, a green puff of smoke appears on the player's camera, similar to when you regularly pick up a power-up. Then the player will hear a sound effect of a chime. Finally, the player's character will say a voiceover line associated with the persistent upgrade system. They will only have one line of voiceover for all of the upgrades. This line is different depending on which map is being played. When they lose the persistent upgrade, the player will only hear a sound effect notifying they lost their upgrade. There is no visual effects support, nor is there voiceover support. As you can see, the Perma Perks were intended to be hard to figure out, but luckily for us, this document lists them all. Judging by the date it was written and the fact that it includes the Perma Perks that came with Buried, it seems that up until Buried, there was no internal documentation on the Perma Perks. God knows how the developers were even keeping track. But as the teams were shifting around in time for Jason Blundell and co. to take over for Mob of the Dead, and then fully with Origins moving over to Black Ops 3, they shifted their design process enough to require real documentation. So we can go through each Perma Perk listed in the document, and in it they tell us exactly how each one functions, and how you both gain and lose them. We will start with Launch and work our way up to Buried. Firstly, we have the Transit Perma Perks, and the first one listed is the upgraded Headshots Perma Perk. To unlock this upgrade, you simply need to get 5 multi-headshot kills, which means getting 2 or more headshots with a single bullet, essentially a permanent version of Deadshot. Once it is activated, headshots will do double damage with all bullet weapons. To lose this Perma Perk, you would need to get 25 kills in a row without getting a headshot, reverting your bullet damage back to normal. Now, it becomes a little easier to understand how they work in in practice. Perma Perks are unlocked via a gameplay challenge, and you have to specifically try to not lose them by failing an action or doing something wrong or incorrect. Next up is upgraded Quick Revive. To get this Perma Perk, you would have to revive a downed teammate 17 times in a single game. Oftentimes, players would cheese this by intentionally downing in the early rounds so that both players could have upgraded revives. Once you unlock it, you will revive players much faster, and this effect can stack with Quick Revive to create a nearly instant revive. The catch is, to lose it, you need to start but not finish a revive on a teammate. So if you attempt to revive someone and fail it even once, you will lose the upgrade and have to start the process all over again. I guess a caveat to cheesing it since it's so easy to lose. After that comes the upgraded boards, also known as metal boards in the community. To activate this Perma Perk, you need to repair 74 window barriers, but the game will not start counting your window barrier repairs until round 5 or higher. Anything on rounds 1 to 4 will not earn you towards this Perma Perk. Once activated, boards will become metal and take zombies a lot longer to tear down than wooden boards, making the rate at which they spawn on the map a lot longer, especially on the lower rounds. Not necessarily the best thing in the world though, because it can disrupt the flow of them onboarding, which you probably don't want on the higher rounds. To lose this Perma Perk, complete a full round without repairing any window boards. So to preserve this upgrade, you need to make sure you repair a window at least once every round. Now let's break down the first set of additional Perma Perks in the game. Each of these were added with Die Rise. First, there's Jug-a-Noob. That's the official name, at least in the files. The community often refers to this as Perma-Jug or Perma-Juggernog. To unlock the Perma-Jug perk, you simply need to die 3 times in round 3 or lower. Once you do, you will see the green flash, and in your next game, you will have increased health, up to 4 hits without Juggernog, and 6 hits if you stack this upgrade with Juggernog, essentially letting you have Juggernog twice. Super overpowered. However, as good as this upgrade is, it has a downside. To lose this upgrade, you only need to get to round 15, meaning losing this Perma Perk is unavoidable in any real game where you continue to progress, and is really only there for the early rounds. This is one of a couple Perma Perks entirely designed to help players new to zombies that we will see. Next up is the upgraded Carpenter. To unlock it, you need to kill a zombie behind a barricade while Carpenter is repairing the windows, a very short window to be able to do so. If you unlock it, though, Carpenters from then on will repair all windows in the map with the metal barriers from the upgraded boards Perma Perk I discussed from Transit. Preserving this upgrade will prove just as difficult as unlocking it, though, as losing it only requires letting a Carpenter activate without killing a zombie behind a barricade. So in essence, you have to recreate the process of unlocking it each time you get a Carpenter power-up to keep it. Upgraded Insta-Kill is the next Perma Perk on our list, oftentimes referred to by the community as Red Insta-Kill due to the icon that will appear on your screen for part of an Insta-Kill once you unlock it, being the regular Insta-Kill symbol but red. To unlock it, you have to grab an Insta-Kill and not kill any zombies during the entire duration of the power-up. Do this again a second time with another Insta-Kill and you will unlock this upgrade. Once you have it, during the first 15 seconds of an Insta-Kill, a second red Insta-Kill icon will appear on the HUD. When the icon is active, any zombies who touch you will instantly die and be unable to hit you. To lose the Perma Perk, you have to get hit by a zombie during an Insta-Kill, meaning that preserving this upgrade means being very careful during the later 15 seconds of an Insta-Kill that it isn't active. Now, one of the more difficult to understand Perma Perks until now is the Perks Cashback. To activate Perks Cashback, you have to have already drank at least 50 perks in the lifetime stats of your account, the total across all games. Once you have, drinking 15 perks in a row and instantly proning in front of them after drinking will unlock this Perma Perk. When you have it, you will receive 1000 points every time you drink a perk. The catch is, you have to prone every single time you drink a perk from now on, as buying a single perk without proning will cause you to lose this upgrade and have to start the process of 15 perks and proning all over again. Black Ops 2's final round of Perma Perks came with Buried, as there were no Perma Perks on, for example, Mob of the Dead or Origins. These were exclusive to the Zelensky maps, not something in Blundell maps. We'll start out with the Sniper upgrade Perma Perk. To unlock this Sniper upgrade, iconic and Buried with the SVU-AS Sniper, get 5 kills with a sniper and more than 500 units in one round. The documents here specify that it does not need to be a headshot, which is interesting as most tutorials will tell you even now that it requires headshots. This was a misconception and incorrect, as detailed in the documents. Once you do unlock it, sniper kills will net you 300 points per kill instead of 100. The powerful effect will continue as long as you do not deactivate the upgrade by missing 3 shots in a row. This Perma Perk is powerful. Easy to unlock with Buried's SVU Warbuy. Although of course you can use others, but this is the one that is the easiest, and easy to maintain as long as you keep consistent accuracy, making it likely the best one or one of the best in the game. That is, if not for the following upgrade. Our next Perma Perk to cover is Perk Lose, better known in the wider community and the community connotation as Permanent Tombstone. This Perma Perk is unlocked by buying 4 perks, the limit at the time before round 7. Of course, nowadays we can get as many perks as we want, and you need to do this 3 times in a row. Once you do unlock it, if you go down and then are revived by teammates or quick revive in solo, you will only lose the very last perk you bought, not your entire suite of perks. This upgrade is a game changer, especially for higher level players, unlike many of the Perma Perks which are catered more towards newer players. And the way to deactivate this perk is to buy a perk the same round you lost it in. So as long as you wait on the round to turn over before rebuying whatever perk you just lost, you can quite easily maintain this extremely powerful Perma Perk. Up next is the companion Perma Perk for the Sniper upgrade, Pistol Points. Pistol Points can be unlocked when you kill 8 zombies while maintaining an accuracy rating of below 25%, essentially meaning you need to miss 3 of every 4 shots. Once you pull it off and unlock Pistol Points, you will get double points for every shot with a pistol. This is great for farming for points with guns like the 5.7s, but if your gun accuracy goes over 26%, you will lose the Perma Perk. So you need to maintain this across games. Of course, a lot easier just jumping in. If you have stats for a long time, you're kind of screwed to get this back to where you need it to be. So to keep it, you have to continue intentionally missing. Following that is double points / half off. To unlock this Perma Perk on your account, you have to accumulate 2,500 points or more during a single double points. Once it's unlocked, during the next double points you acquire, purchases in the map will drop to half cost. This effect will continue until you deactivate the Perma Perk by gaining any points during a double points. Shooting a zombie even once or reboarding a single barricade during double points will deactivate this effect. An extremely popular Perma Perk in Buried is the PhD Flopper Perma Perk. The Perma Perk is acquired by taking a near-death amount of damage, 30 or more points of damage, as listed in the documents, in fall damage 5 times in a single game. Once you fall enough times, you will then be given permanent PhD Flopper. And as long as you have this Perma Perk, you are given the effects of PhD Flopper, an immunity to explosions and fall damage. To lose this Perma Perk, you need to jump from a height that would cause fall damage without diving into a flop. So to keep PhD, anytime you fall from a major height, you must flop. And now let's cover Better Box Weapons. Better Box Weapons is a Perma Perk that, in essence, does exactly what it says on the tin. Gives you better box weapons. But now, thanks to the documents, we can get into the specifics of how that works. But first, how do you unlock it? You unlock Better Box Weapons by using the box and taking the weapon 5 times consecutively before round 10. Once you do, the logic for the box changes. Players who have this upgrade will have 60-40 odds in the mystery box of pulling weapons in the game that the developers deem as good. If the mystery box gives you a bad weapon, you have to take it to preserve the ability. But if you do, your next pull will be a 100% guarantee of a good weapon. But what does the game consider good and bad? The good weapons listed in the documents are the ray gun, the Galil, the ballistic knife, the RPD, the M1216, the hammer, the executioner, the MTAR-21, the ray gun Mark II, and the Paralyzer. And for the list of bad weapons, we have the Time Bomb, the Simple Monkey, the RPG, and the Remington New Model Army. I mean, I wouldn't consider the equipment bad, but I get it, I guess. I mean, most people are just looking for weapons, but oddly enough, the game considers the Time Bomb and Simple Monkey as bad weapons, with the only actual guns being flagged as bad being the RPG and Remington New Model Army. That means, as popular as this perma perk is among players, on any map outside of Buried, you are basically only making it less likely to get the RPG and Monkey Bombs. And most of the guns in the game will fall under the good category, making the perma perk nearly useless in practice. To lose it, players will either need to refuse a gun from the box or progress up to round 10, either of which will remove the upgrade. You also cannot get this ability back in the same game you lost it, and you cannot earn it on round 9 or above. And finally, perhaps the most infamous and initially difficult to recreate of all the perma perks, the Noob. This perma perk remained a mystery for so long because of the way it is unlocked. Some players would report this and even post footage, but most people could not manage to recreate it, and it took many hours of testing across the community to even prove it existed. So how exactly is it unlocked according to the documents? The player must have never gone to round 10 before on their account, ever. So in essence, a brand new account, and on this new account, you need to get 5 kills with no melee kills, no headshots, and no windows boarded up. Basically, do almost nothing and kill zombies in the least effective way possible. If you do this, the green flash will activate, and you will have unlocked the Noob perma perk. Once you do, buying the Olympia off the wall in the starting room will instead give the player the ray gun in the quarry spawn of Buried. The way you lose this perma perk is why it was so hard to test. Once you achieve round 10, once ever on the account, the perma perk will be disabled and cannot be unlocked anymore. And with the perma perk only being added in Buried, the Final Victors DLC, it meant most players had been playing the game for some time. And with that, we've covered every single perma perk that actually exists in Black Ops 2, diving into the developer documents to get the cold hard truth on how each one actually works. So a very lasting itch of curiosity in the back of my mind has finally been scratched. And the next time we hop on Black Ops 2 and see that green flash, we will now know exactly why. Do you think that we should see perma perks back in zombies? Potentially with Black Ops 7, with us seeing the return of Tranzit in some capacity. I think the mystery of them is so cool. I mean, we've literally only just gotten the true answers over 13 years later, which is wild. But what do you think? Have you seen a perma perk that somehow wasn't in this document? Did you know about all of these or learn any new ones here? Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for some great Call of Duty news information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.